Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. It's Week 7 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The numbers for him from a week ago. 15 carries, 82 yards, and a touchdown.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
Well, this defense for the Cardinals, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's one of those where it feels like backyard football in a sense. You say forget about the route. Just run to the open spot in the middle of the field, and I'll find you. Good throw, good concentration on the catch, and they pick up the first down.
Stafford's throw pulled in by Woods. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. To the air again, Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he's got this down to the 35. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this is recovered by the Cardinals. So out come the Cardinals and their offense in great starting field position. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he's probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a...
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And the Rams are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Certainly not the cleanest of starts to this football game. Back-to-back plays yield turnovers in this first quarter.
So there's not much flow right now. A very choppy game. And I know this. It's a copycat league. We say it all the time about the NFL, but I'm not quite sure this is what they had in mind about something they wanted to emulate.
No, you don't want to emulate a turnover. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, Stafford. To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 3rd and 2, Stafford. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he is going to have a Rams first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Stafford. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Jordan Phillips picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll dump this off to Akers. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. That also a career-long kick for the veteran, Charles.
Yeah, how about what he just got done there? We always knew he had a big leg, but how about everything coming together perfectly on that one? Great leg swing, and bang that one through.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did, but there's still a place for it. I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. The rushing numbers for Pollard last week, pretty good, as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers, because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. That catch good for only a couple.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
8 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Wilson rolling to his right. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. And this is going to be another 1st down, as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 15-yard line.
Time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And the Rams are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this 1st quarter of play. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up, because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Zaven Collins there to make the play defensively. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game, and I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Stafford now to throw. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's 2nd down. On the give, this is Akers. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Complete, Jefferson the target. And he lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
A quick throw complete out to Isabella. Touchdown, Cardinals. Andy Isabella with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. Had the option to hand that one off or run it himself, but instead, a really easy, quick pass.
I like the way they made a decisive decision and got it right to the receiver. One move later, he's in the end zone.
Prater for the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. And a touchback here as Walker will sit on this one. And the Rams getting set to go now. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. Stafford. That's complete to his running back, Jefferson. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. On the handoff, it's Akers. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Stafford on 3rd down. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 2 minutes to play in his first half. 7-3 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. He and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection. And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 11. A shotgun snap for Stafford. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Throwing again at Stafford. That's out to the flat for Akers. And he will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Rosas' kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Well, the Cardinal offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a 1-point lead, you'd have to think they'll be looking just to get this to halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go play action with Wilson. He'll air this one out for Kirk. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 20. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. From the 50 at Stafford. Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Zaven Collins able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. So we reach half. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
They go back to Pollard on second down, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And the Rams are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this 3rd quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
On 1st down, they'll start out with Akers. Tackled by Isaiah Simmons.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Stafford. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Here's Johnny Hecker now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Now it's Lockett. Well, a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field. Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Wilson. Throw left side, complete to Isabella. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone? Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And out on the pitch, the ball's loose. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on him.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
Touchdown! Christian Kirk, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals now hang on to their lead. Now Prater to add the PAT. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. On the return, Walker. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Stafford. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 50 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3-and-out.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. They'll run this with Akers. And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Stafford going to give to Akers on the draw. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Stafford. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive. 2 for 2. To throw is Stafford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4. On 4th down Joe Judge makes the decision. They're going for it. They'll run for it with Akers. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this will do the job nicely, as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Stafford. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. On first down, Akers. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford, throw right side, going to be caught by Higbee. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Meanwhile, Stafford's throw, it's complete into the hands of Higbee. Stafford barking out signals and trying to get his guys set quickly. Now it's Stafford. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Stafford now to throw. Looking underneath, he's got Akers. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Right side complete. That's Woods. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Now Stafford. A good pickup there. 8 yards. And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Deontay Thompson. And the Cardinals have just about sewn up this football game. Well, this game has not been short on intrigue, but that's the backbreaker right there, and it's going to put any hope of victory to bed.
Yeah, they knew they needed the touchdown, and when you have that little time remaining, they know they've got no choice except to go for broke, and that they did. But the interception, that means defeat.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 55 rushing yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
First down, and it's Pollard again. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll run left with Pollard. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It's a gain of 15, and that ought to just about put an end to this one. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
There's a fast release by Wilson out to the flat. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Wilson wants to throw it. And this will be caught. We'll forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? And you know what? 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
I just grab the nugget when I can.